So if we see the next thing which we will be dealing with, the subunit in our fourth unit is regarding social process and social interaction. We will here we'll be seeing what do we mean by social interaction, and also what can we understand by social process. So first of all, we will be saying what do we mean by social interaction. As we know, the famous quote which was given by Aristotle, that man is a social animal. Man is a social animal. It is where we have learned that man cannot live in a isolated conditions. He always wants to live in groups. These membership of these groups, they act in a certain manner. Their behavior is mutually affected. Their interaction or mutual activity is the sense of social life. Social life is not possible without interaction. So this is the introduction. What we can understand through the process of social interaction. Through social interaction only, when we interact with someone, then only we will be knowing what is the process that we have to follow. It can be in a company, or it can be in any sort of relationship where we can know different sorts of cultures are existing in different societies. Through the process of interaction only, we will be knowing what is the actual process in that. So here in the fourth unit, we that is the reason why we have started with the topic called social interaction. If there is interaction, or when we have some sort of communication, then only the social process in the society of social system can work very smoothly. According to Merrill, he defines social interaction. He says that it is the general process where two or more persons are in a meaningful contact, as a result of which there is a modified, however, a slightly. Where when there is some sort of changes are there in the individual's behavior, that behavior can be understood when we interact with the other individuals in the society. What are the different, from the social interaction only we are going to get the social process. So here we are going to see what are the different elements of social process. Social process has following essential elements, that is sequence of events, repetition of the events, relationship between different events, continuity of the events, and special social results. When we meet an individual, we don't understand them in uh, one go. We need some frequent interactions with them. Maybe there should be some repetitive interactions, then only the relationship between the individuals will be very clear. So that will bond them into some special social results. Maybe if it is a friendship, where they will become best friends, or if it is a company's relationship, they will have some special understanding in in forming the MOUs with the other group of individuals. Classification of social process. Social process may be classified into three ways. That is, by the number of persons involved in one to one interaction will be there, one interacting with the group will be there, or group interacting with the one will be there, or group with one and group within the group. These are the different sorts of interactions or social processes which takes place in our society. by the degree of intimacy of individual and the groups in the interaction. For example, what are the different sorts of interactions which takes place is we have first we have primary interaction, secondary, tertiary or marginal groups are there where the interactions will be going on. Uh, in depth we will be seeing about what do we mean by primary social process or secondary social process or tertiary social process in the next coming slides. By the nature or types of processes, there are of course hundreds of social processes. There are different sorts of social processes which are existing in the society. Few of them are political process, educational process, industrial, economic, religious, and etc, which are the existing in our society. Then we have the specific social process are also numerous. Among those are general nature, association, cooperation, conflict, accommodation, assimilation, domination, exploitation, and differentiation. In our syllabus, we are going to learn about what do we mean by cooperation, what do we mean by conflict, accommodation, and assimilation. These are the important concepts which are necessary for sake of our religion. But for your understanding what else comes in our social process, uh, for your clarity I have given other social processes also, like domination, exploitation, differentiation, etc, also comes under specific social processes. Then if we see what do we mean by associative social process. In the associative social process is actually divided into two. Um, One second. Association is actually divided into two. That is, social process is divided into two. That is associative social process and dissociative social process. I didn't add that slide, but just remember, I'm unable to do that right now. Here, one more slide should come where the social process is actually divided into two. That is associative social process and dissociative social process. In the associative social process, where we can see that we have a few understanding things which works on common understanding. These are something which are very positive signs to the society. These are called as associative social processes. In the social processes, we can see cooperation, accommodation, assimilation, and accumulation. These are the things which are there in your syllabus. So, I have inserted these things in this slide. That is cooperation, accommodation, assimilation, and accumulation. Then the second thing is dissociative social processes. In the dissociative social process, we have competition, conflict, contravention, differentiation, disintegration. Now we will be seeing what are the associative social processes. In the associative social processes, first of all, we will be knowing what do we mean by cooperation. Yes, Usha madam, do you have any doubt? Usha Rani madam?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay. Then can you mute? Yes. So here in this slide, we are going to understand what do we mean by cooperation. Cooperation is the one of the most basic, pervasive, and continuous social process. Without cooperation, society can't exist. It is the very basis social existence. When there is cooperation, then only we can live here happily. Cooperation generally means working together for the pursuit of common goal. The term cooperation is derived from two Latin words. Co means together, operare means work. Literally, cooperation means joint work or working together for common rewards or common goals. For your clear understanding, I have given all the lines in this slide. Just I'm repeating the same thing. Cooperation is nothing but the people working together where for sake of they work together for some common goal. The term cooperation is divided into two terms, that is co and operary. Co means together, operary means work. So literally when we join both the things, co plus operary, that is together work, then that is called as working together for a common goal. Working together for a common goal. Then what are the different definitions which are related to cooperation? Merrill says that cooperation is the form of social interaction wherein two or more persons work together to gain a common end. As we have discussed when I was explaining you the introduction, that is nothing but two or more persons they work together to attain some common end, that is called as cooperation. In cooperation, there should be interaction, then only it will be successful. A.W. Green. Cooperation is a continuous process and common endeavor of two or more persons to perform a task to reach a goal that is commonly cherished. Right? When there is cooperation, then only that task can fulfill all the achievements, whatever they want to reach in their curriculum. Fairchild. He says that cooperation is the process by which the individuals or groups combine their efforts in a more or less organized way for attainment of common objectives. Cooperation is joint activity in pursuit of common goals or shared rewards. When the goal is achieved, then definitely that individual will be rewarded for achieving that goal. Maybe the person will be appreciated for whatever they have performed, or they, if he is a employee in some company, then definitely the company is going to hike their remuneration or something. A reward will be given to them in some form or the other form. When there is a cooperation, then only the society can work properly. We have different types of cooperations. What are those? Is direct cooperation, indirect cooperation, primary cooperation, secondary cooperation, and tertiary cooperation. We are going to see all these things. What do you mean by direct cooperation? Direct cooperation is the individual involved to do the identical functions. Example, playing together, worshipping together, tilling the field together, taking out the cart from the mud, etc. People do work in company with the other members, right? Where see, when the car got stuck in the mud, then when the two or three people come there, and if they push that car, when they cooperate with each other, then only that car or the cart can come out of that mud. With the cooperation, they can reach the goal whatever they have to achieve. People do work in the company with other members. When there is cooperation with within the employees, then only whatever the goals are kept by the whatever the targets they have to reach, that will be achieved on time. If there is no cooperation, the targets can't be achieved. So here in the direct cooperation is nothing but where we have uh, face to face interaction is there, or intimate relationships are there. These type of cooperation is called as direct interaction. And indirect cooperation means people work individually for the attainment of a common goal. This is based on the principle of division of labor and specialization. So here I have given you an example also. What do we mean by indirect cooperation? Is example, farmers, spinners, weavers, dyers, tailors are different people engaged in different activities. For example, this in the manufacturing of the clothes, production of the clothes, the farmer will sow the seeds. When the cotton comes, he will harvest that, he will send it to the spinner, then the spinner will spin it, then it will send to the weaver, then the weaver will make into a small clothes type of things, and then that clothes will be sent to the dyer, and the color is given to that cloth according to the design or according to the uh, concept, whatever they want to achieve to that material. They give those colors to that cloth, and then that clothes are sent to the tailor to make into the shape whatever they want it to be come out. That can be pant shirt, or it can be a trouser, or a sari, or a dress material, or a sweater, or anything else which is necessary. So here, if you see, none of them are known to each other, but still they are working for the common goal, that is producing clothes, but their ends remain the same, that of producing the clothes. Hope you have understood. Direct cooperation is where people know each other, that we are going to work for, this is our target, and we are going to reach our target by working in this systematical manner. In the indirect cooperation, people are unknown to each other, but still they know for what is the purpose of working there. That is, their end remains the same. Farmers, spinner, weavers, dyers, tailors, etc. work for the same thing. If you take an example of rice also, the farmer is there, there will be a consumer, there is a producer. Everything is being done by the different people to make that product make that product to come into the market. Direct cooperation, indirect cooperation, then we have primary cooperation. It is found in the primary groups such as family, neighbors, friends groups, etc. With the cooperation only, if we want to celebrate any small function or anything, whatever we want to do, that will be successful in our family through the form of cooperation only. Secondary cooperation, then in the secondary cooperation, if you see, features of the modern civilized society is found mainly in the secondary groups. It is highly formalized and specialized. Here we can give an example of the companies, or the MNC companies, or the workplace where an individuals work for that. Tertiary cooperation. Cooperation may be found between bigger groups also. It may be found between 2 or 3 political parties, caste, tribes, religion, etc. Primary is smaller group, secondary is bigger than primary group, tertiary is more bigger when compared to the primary and secondary group. In the tertiary group, if we see, there are political parties, caste, and tribes who work for the same goals to achieve. If a political party wants to win, right, local party is there, national party is there. So take an example of BJP itself. We have at the district level also, we have different sorts of. Sorry. So, what is the role of cooperation? We have seen what do we mean by cooperation. We have seen what are the different definitions of cooperation and types of cooperation. We will be seeing what do we mean, what is the role of cooperation in the social life. It has made our life possible and livable. It is surrounds us on all sides. It is both psychological and biological necessity. According to McKeever, he says that man cannot associate without cooperating, without working together in pursuit like a common interest. It is needed not only among the individuals, associations, groups, and communities, but also among the nations. Cooperation provides solution for many international problems and disputes. In day-to-day life, we can see that as everyone is cooperating with each other, the social life is going on very smoothly. If there is a problem, if the people are not cooperating with us psychologically, an individual will be affected. When psychologically, when an individual is affected, automatically there will be some sort of uh, problems can be seen in the biological conditions of a human being also. So here, McKeever and Page says that a man cannot associate without cooperating, without working together in the pursuit of like or common interest. Without cooperation, an individual can't live in this society. It is needed not only among the individuals, not only an individual needs cooperation to live happily in this society, but the associations or groups or communities. If we want our, if we are living happily in our colonies, that is because all our colony members or all the members in our apartments are making the things to happen in a positive form. Otherwise, if there is some messy things are going on uh, in our area, then definitely uh, the person will be affected psychologically. At individual level, to the group level, to the community level, everyone is cooperating. So that is the reason why we can see that we are leading a life where uh, we can reach our goals. Com- Cooperation provides solutions for many international problems and disputes, right? If there is cooperation, then we can see that we can find many solutions for the dispute. Maybe if the war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine, then definitely it will get a solution if there is some sort of cooperation from the both the countries. So this is what about the cooperation. Cooperation is nothing but it is related to the associative social process. Uh, Cooperation is working together for a common goal. Then what do we mean by competition? Then another associative social process is competition. We will be knowing what do we mean by competition. Cooperation is a joint venture with one another for a commodity, goal, or value. Opposition may be divided into competition or conflict, right? The opposition of the cooperation is that can be called as competition or conflict. Competition is less violent form of opposition in which two or more individuals or groups struggle for the same end or goal. Scarcity of resources, wherever the scarcity of resources are there the competition will arise. We all are aware of these things. Attention is focused on reward or goal rather than the competitor. In conflict, the person or the group destroys the opponent in order to secure the goal or reward. The best example for this is competitive exams. We know that in the civil services or in the groups, we see that there are limited number of seats. For that, some lakhs and lakhs of people will uh, take. They want to achieve their goals. They compete to achieve these goals. Introduction to association. Association becomes more personal. Sorry. Competition becomes more personal. It shades into conflict. The more disruptive, disjunctive social process. Competition is most fundamental form of social struggle. It is natural result of universal struggle for existence. It is based on the fact that all the people can never satisfy all their desires. Competition takes place whenever there is insufficient supply of the things that human being commonly desires. When there is some scarcity of the resources or insufficient supply of the things are there, then for sake of those things we can see that there is some sort of competition which takes place in the society. Here we will be seeing few definitions regarding competition. According to Park and Burgess, says that competition is an interaction without social contact. When we are writing competitive exams, we are not aware the other person, whoever is competing for that position. Then Bison, he says that he defines that competition is striving or two or more persons for the same goal, which is limited so that all cannot share it, right? We can see that if there is a cricket match or if there is some dance competition or whatever is there, the prize cannot be shared with the opponent. That group is only going to enjoy the uh, trophy whatever they have got it. So that is the reason why they have given two or more persons. If you take into account, it can be a football or a cricket match. The people uh, they play for their team. uh, Hurton and Hunt. Hurton and Hunt. He defined that competition is the struggle for position of rewards which are limited in supply, goods, status, power, love, anything. Right? Whenever there is some limited resources are there the conflict will arise. So different characteristics of the competition: scarcity as the condition of the competition, scarcity and affluence. Competition is uh, characteristics of the competition, which says that scarcity as a condition of competition, competition and affluence. Competition is continuous process. Wherever we go, we compete. When we were in the school, we used to compete with our school friends. When we came into our intermediate, we compete with them. When we are in the when we are working, we compete with our colleagues. Wherever we go, definitely there will be a competition which will be existing in the society. Competition is universal. It is universal. Like in to whichever country we go, definitely we are going to find competition is existing in that area. That can be a tribal area or a rural area or urban area or metropolitan cities, or wherever we go, we can see that there is a form of competition which is existing. Competition is dynamic. Competition always keeps on changing from place to place and time to time. Its rules and regulations may vary from one place to another way, but the competition will definitely takes place. Competition is a cause of social change. Competition may be personal or it can be impersonal. Competition may be constructive or destructive. Competition is always governed by norms, as we are aware that we have some rules and regulations which we have to follow when the competition is going on. Competition may be unconscious also, where without our awareness, we are competing with other people in this society. Different types of competitions. We have social competition, economic competition. We have social competition, economic competition, political, cultural competition. Social competition is mostly observed in the open society. In the society, whenever we are competing with other individuals, then that is called as social competition. Economic competition is when we are competing with the for sake of jobs or customers or for sake of clients, etc., comes under our economic competitions. Then the political competition is, we all are aware of these things, like we can see that people uh, campaign themselves for the awareness, to create awareness among the individuals that these are the parties which are existing and to whom we have to vote during these elections. Cultural competition between natives and invaders. Like cultural competition, we see that to know our own culture, we have some sort of, we conduct some sort of competitions in our own communities. Competitions may also takes place between racial and religious groups. Then what is the role of competition in social life? Competition assigns status to the individuals. Individual want to achieve a goal. Maybe he wants to become a civil servant, or maybe he want to become a bank officer, or maybe he want to become uh, a cricket player, or whatever he want to assign. He is competing with the other individuals to achieve that goal. So this will assign status to that person, mostly for sake of status. Maybe the person wants to become the prime minister of India or president of India, or he wants to become a doctor. They say that they want to serve the society, but the things which are behind that is they want to enjoy the status or the role whatever is played by that individual sitting in that seat. Source of motivation, right? uh, Through the competition, when we win, when we achieve that goals, we become the motivation to other persons. Provide social mobility. Irrespective of the caste system or the class system, there will be mobility, where we can see that through the process of education, a marginalized people, that can be women or other individuals who are in the marginalized section, they can move to upwards toward the social ladder by the form of competition which is existing in the society. Competition contributes to the socio and economic progress. Right? Just now we have discussed that through the process of competition, our social status and also our economic status will progress. Provides for new experiences. Provides for new experiences, satisfies man's desires, right? Through the competition, we can see that we can satisfy our desires. Then we will be in the next class, we will be comparing what do we mean by competition and what do we mean by cooperation. Today, I'll stop my class here. In tomorrow's class, we will be discussing about what are the similarities between competition and cooperation and what are the differences between them. Then we will be seeing other associative processes. I hope you have understood, Rima. Rima ma'am, have you understood? Do you have any doubts? Is it clear? Are you here?